because it is uniquely structured and uniquely organized program by Velammal Institute on outcome-based education, assessment, and attainment of the this thing. Before starting, let me warm up for the participants. So I just share my screen, and because I just want it to be more interactive, because I can use the whiteboard what you guys have. Maybe I can add a whiteboard maybe for I will share my screen at present. I will share the link of the Padlet wall. Padlet wall. I am making it in the chat. In chat, I am sharing the Padlet wall, sir. So the people who are in chat. Okay. Happy morning, Kaliappan, sir. Happy morning, Kamakshi, Zavid. Okay. I have shared the Padlet wall. So before starting the Padlet, okay, let it be Padlet. Before that, I just want to know you from your perspective. What do you mean by assessment and how the assessment? Because today, Madam asked me to focus on uh, the direct and indirect assessment. Okay, the question goes like this: what concerns do instructors have in assessment? Select that all that apply, because assessment is basically, it depends upon the tool what I'm using. Suppose if I want to know the length of this pencil, I need to have some scale to measure it. If the scale itself is going to have the error, how the assessment is going to give the right answer? That is going to be a big problem. So in such situation, it all depends upon the tool which I'm going to use it for making the assessment. So today we are going to discuss about PSO, program specific objectives, and program specific outcomes and program specific educational objectives, PEOs and PSO. What do you mean by PEO and what do you mean by PSO? We will focus. In addition to that, how that assessment need to be done to check whether attainment has reached or not. That is a need of the hour. So before knowing that, I just want to know from the participants. It is a normal online tool, menti.com. I have given the code. I have given the link in the chat box. I request the participants to click the link and answer the question. What concerns do instructors have in assessment? Select that all that apply, because I have given the tool. I have given the tool and how that it applies, what all it applies, because either you can go to menti.com and you can put it, or you can use the code. You can use the code. What concerns do instructors have? Because my concern is how to know the students are doing, and my concern is how to engage, because whatever the concerns, you can rank them and you can do submit it. If you submit it, okay, one person has submitted. Good, art, good, fantastic. Oh, two people have submitted. Okay, three people have submitted. Okay, once it starts going, the ball started rolling, it will be good. Okay, fantastic, amazing.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. We are unable to hear you.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Because I was thinking in the poll why I have to switch on. Luckily, madam, as someone has pointed out, it is amazingly good. So I just want to know this thing. What is your perspective? As I told you, PSO, program specific outcomes. The fundamental definition of outcome-based education is the learning is fixed, learning time varies. That is the fundamental definition of outcome-based education as given by Professor Spaddy. Professor Spaddy was the pioneer, and he was the chairperson for the committee to define the outcome-based education at Washington Accord in US. So if you observe the story of outcome-based education, it all started with the launch of a satellite by Russia named Sputnik. Russia is launching a satellite named Sputnik. Immediately, the US becomes tensed as usual, and they will want to check how the Russians are progressing, what is the reason behind it. You can remember because the concept of IQ, EQ, all came from the system. So in such situation, when we are working on it, the Americans was thinking, what is the lacuna in our system of education, how to go about it. Then they re-christianized the old technique and models and named it as a outcome-based education. In our country also, we had outcome-based education, but in old Gurukula system itself, it was exist. The students will join the Gurukula at some point of time, but doesn't mean that they have to graduate at the same time. It varies from the system. It varies from the person to person based on the caliber, based on the methodology, what we are teaching. They graduate because you need to have a clarity in thought. The fundamental definition of outcome basis, the learning is fixed, learning time varies. Okay. So the learning is fixed, learning time varies. That is the fundamental definition of the outcome-based education. So if you observe in the outcome-based education, there is no question of are you qualified? Everyone, all are qualified because we want to make the system flexible. We want to have the differentiated instruction. We want to have a student-centered learning. That is the definitions which we give predominantly in the case of outcome-based education. If you observe, sir, the crux, it all depends upon how we are going to do the assessment. You have to remember the term we are using is assessment, not the term evaluation. Assessment and attainment. You remember assessment and attainment. Very clear terms they are using, not the terminology evaluation. Because assessment, what is the meaning of assessment? It has a root from a Latin word, assessare. Assessare means to sit side by. So it wants to make to sit side by, where the teacher has a scope to improve the student's performance, or the mentor has a scope to improve the mentee performance, or the individuals are having a scope to improve upon it. That is the fundamental definition of assessment. That is the fundamental definition of assessment you have to remember. Okay. So, okay, fantastic. Only 9 people have answered. I think more than 9, they will not be there. Maybe they are finding it difficult. Maybe in subsequent questions, we might expect more. The second question, assessment is easy for the following content. There are different contents are there. The content could be grouped into procedural knowledge, factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, metacognitive knowledge, affective domain, skill and perpetual, communication. Sir, assessment is very easy for communication, sir. No, assessment is very easy to know the procedure. Assessment is very easy to do it for skill and perpetual. So from your perspective, there are 7 conditions we have given. You rank them. Assessment is easy for which content? Assessment is easy for which content?
Sir, excuse me, your voice is not audible. Please unmute to sir.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes. No, I'm just muted and the camera I didn't switch off. There was a phone call from
Okay, sir, no issues.
Bandutti campus. That's the reason. Okay, good. Okay, that's fantastic, amazing. How many people? Only 5. Last time we had more, now only 5. So we need to look into it, how to do it. Okay. So let me check how to go about it. Okay. So today categorically we are going to discuss only PSO and PEO. PSO and PEO. So how we are going to make it and what is the requirement. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Only 5. What has happened? Because there are 41 people are there. 4 plus 1 is 5, but that 5 is good. But this is 2 abasement, very low score. Okay, no problem. It maybe they are finding it difficult to answer the Menti, or I don't know what is the reason behind it. Okay, I'll just check it. Okay. Okay. Good, sir. Good. Okay, but I'm amazed to see the participants' feedback. But what it is? Kindly put the link once again. No problem, friend. Kavita Govindarajan madam has asked. Okay, I have put the link. Kavita Govindarajan, maybe. Okay, thank you. The second question is assessment is easy for because you have to remember what is the fundamental of program outcome and program specific outcomes. Way back in the 2012 or 11 when the concept of POs all came, so there was no standardized POs were not there. They were giving the broad cluster. Based on the broad cluster, you have to define the POs for the educational institution. So that was the definition they were having. So each institutions were doing that. At that time, there was no PSO. So what has happened when there is no specific content of PO and PSO? The people are writing POs. POs, if you see, there are 12 POs are there for the institutions of undergraduate level, and it varies for the postgraduate level. It varies for the MBA, everything. It varies. It varies for the situation. You have to remember, it varies to the conditions and situation, and accordingly we have to work on it. That is a condition which we have to remember, which we are working on it. Seven people. Okay. If you observe the assessment, people have told very clearly, it is very easy for doing the assessment for procedural knowledge. Yes, of course, it's easy to do the procedural knowledge. I can ask him to tell the procedure. Okay, that is good. But if you ask the procedural knowledge, somehow we do it in a different perspective. In the question of procedural knowledge, that's a question we call it as a direct and indirect. Directly I can measure, sometimes I can measure indirectly. So if I see the facial expression, indirectly also I can tell this patient is not having good and he is having fever indirectly. But directly is I can tell I'm not feeling well. Or if I see my smiling face or this thing, if I see the madam's face or a smiling face, okay, I can think, okay, she's good mood, she's in a good, this thing, she's a very active and she's happy mood. That is there. But sometimes if the face is frowning, I can know some problem is there, some issue is there. So that is the condition which you have to remember, direct and indirect. In the case of a procedural knowledge, what we have observed in the case of a PEOs and POs, I want to make it very clear, PEOs and POs. POs are now standardized, 12 graduate attributes. Let me focus on the undergraduate education. I'm not going to focus on postgraduate or any other system of education. I'm not giving. I'm giving example with respect to the undergraduate education, sir. Undergraduate education. The definition of PEOs, are well explained and well uh, 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 informed about how the PEOs need to be measured. Now it is fixed. So now educational institutions need to get differentiated. Educational institutions need to get differentiated. How to differentiate? Now let me put a analogy. Kindly listen, sir. Based on that only we are going to go to the next slide. Let me take an analogy of doing a sambar, cooking a sambar, making of sambar. Let me make a history of making of a sambar. If I want to make sambar, I can just get the views from the participants. What all the ingredients needed? Tur dal, tamarind, turmeric, water, chili powder or sambar powder, salt, something, whatever, tomato, some vegetables, something you can give. This is a basic ingredient or a framework for making a sambar. Now, what NBA did, all the institutions are developing engineers. When you develop engineers, there are some basic traits which is needed. So you cannot change the basic traits of an engineer. Engineer, we want to standardize. But the question of standardization, is it right or wrong? It is beyond debatable. I'm not getting into that debate. That is different topic of interest. Now I'm telling you, if I tell sambar, this is standardized. If I tell vada, this is a standardized. I am just giving analogy of food to make it clear. It is no way gender biased or something, because some people should not think why he is telling a gender towards a cooking of ladies, cooking of by gents, nothing. Nowadays, everyone cooks. That is the reason. So I made a point, PO sambar. But if you see, the sambar made in South India, if you take sambar made in South Indian states, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, are they same? But the ingredients are same. Yes, tur dal is there, vegetable is there, water is there, tamarind is there, chili powder is there. But still, the sambar doesn't taste standardized. It's not coming. What is the reason? But I need to have a unique signature feature, because if POs are defined, all the engineering colleges in the country should produce the same type of engineering, like a factory model. Because if you see, Professor Ken Robinson categorically mentioned, the factory model is a thing which disrupted the education system. So we don't want a factory model. But if you observe, sir, if you make a note of it, the sambar made in Chennai, the sambar made in Kerala, the sambar made in Karnataka is entirely different. There is some signature changes is there. You remember, in Karnataka they put jaggery extra. In Kerala they put some coconut oil. In Tamil Nadu we use cardia, this thing, some oil. We use all whichever it is there, we use it. In such situation, if you observe, there is a signature added value which makes a unique sambar of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, all the places. For example, Coimbatore. If you go to Coimbatore, Gauri Shankar sambar is entirely different. If you come to Chennai, the triplicate Ratna Cave hotel sambar is entirely different. And Saravana Bhavan sambar is entirely different. Adayar Ananda Bhavan sambar is entirely. Each hotel is having a unique signature dish which is analogically defined using the PSO, program specific outcomes. I also produce civil engineer, you also produce civil engineer. I also produce computer science engineer, you also produce computer science engineer. But my civil engineer will contribute to the society in terms of earthquake engineering, or in terms of environmental engineering, or in terms of sustainable engineering, or in terms of structural engineering, or in terms of infrastructure engineering. I make the differentiation. How I make a differentiation? I make a differentiation only through the terminology known as PSO, Program Specific Outcomes. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Hope someone puts in chat, it's okay. Hopefully it is clear. If not, God bless America. Okay, clear. Somasundaram Krishnan told clear. Javid Indra Pradesh, yes. Okay. So that's the way the unique signature dish which differentiate from one institute to other institute is using the terminology PSO. Okay. So we should know how to measure it, how to assess it, and how to contribute to the society. That is the success of PSO. The success of PSO, we do it in two terms. One is direct assessment, indirect assessment. Later on, we will identify the attainment. Okay, okay, let me make it. Okay, how many people? 9 people. We reached the same 9 people. It is amazingly good. Okay, good. But if you have to remember, in general, assessment of factual knowledge is very, very easy, sir. Facts, no need. Republic Day, Independence Day, all days. You remember August 15th. Sometimes we forget only our birthdays and family members' birthday. But other days we remember. You remember Gandhi Jayanti, Valentine's Day, Children's Day, Diwali Day, all day. We remember. Okay. So that is factual knowledge is easy. Communication skill is easy. But assessment is very difficult to check for the affective domain. Affective domain. Because today, yeah, my affective domain depends upon the day-to-day scenario. Day-to-day scenario, it depends. PA, madam. Day-to-day life scenario. So that is it. But it is very difficult to measure the metacognitive skill and perpetual mood trend. It both it's very difficult. We have to accept it. We have to accept it, and we have to take care of it. Okay, that is correct. Okay, the last question, my dear friends. Last question. What question comes to your mind about assessment? Especially I'm making it very clear. The assessment, what comes to your mind with respect to PSO? Now PO, I will come. PEO, I will come afterwards. PSO சார்ந்து PSO பற்றி assessment, what comes to your mind? Because I'm just making it in Tamil. That doesn't mean that I'm because I'm son of the soil, but still, it doesn't mean that to David. Because I'm just I told okay, nothing wrong in it. I'm making it in open in English. PSO. What question comes to your mind as soon as you remember the term PSO? PSO assessment. What comes to your mind? Just type it and put it in that. Let's explore together, sir. Your time starts now. How to measure PSO attainment through CO attainment? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will see one by one. One by one. Only one question. Okay. Good, 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 good. Amazingly good. assignment, test, communication. Assignment is a test of our knowledge. Assignment is test. Assignment is one mode to assess the knowledge, sir. So assessment, because if you remember, nowadays, if your Pembu search memory, it is not the direct by skill set. Nowadays, it's important skill set. Previously, we were talking in terms of knowledge, degrees, everything. Now, everyone has started thinking in terms of a skill set what you possess. That is in terms of a Seoul Accord. The skill set matters a lot. Nowadays, no, you finish PhD, because I tell always it's a tunnel technique. Tunnel technique, your job opportunity is more if you start searching in the BE knowledge. ME knowledge, if you start searching, your job opportunity reduce. If you start searching job after PhD, still it comes, because you have to go only to research or I funded research or industry or the college faculty member. So it is a funnel. More the degree, narrow the job profile. But nowadays, lot of certificates, Cisco certificate, this certificate, that certificates are there. The basic aim of such certificates is to provide. Someone has put it in something in chat box. In 3 years after completion of the program, sufficient to measure PSO. Yes, I will tell you, it is not the 3 to 5 years they have told to just check the feedback, because one such flush out, it's 4 years, 3 to 5 years. They never mention. Even PEOs is 3 to 5 years. So as they were telling, as I told you, PSO, it is the ultimate signature dish, sir. Ultimate signature dish. What makes you unique? What makes you unique? Kindly share the Mentimeter link. Okay, fantastic. Shankar Ramalingam. That is a peer-to-peer learning. You see, Javed sir has said. Thank you, Javed sir. Okay. So I strongly believe in teaching the fundamentals rather than making this thing. As I told you first, during the lecture, we started with POs and PSOs. PO program outcomes define how the graduates, who are going to develop, what sort of graduation they need to have, and how it has to be explored. That is a fundamental definition which we have seen. And later on, we have entered into the how to do it. That is a reason which we have seen. So based on which we were working on it. My colleague, Dr. Dinesh, and my other colleagues, they would have told you the technology, how to do it, because we offer a technology for technology for teaching. Because as you know, the quality of improvement, it is important. They are trying to do it, and which we are working on it. Okay. Let me focus. Let me focus on the main point of PSO and PEOs. PEOs, as I told you, it's a broad statement. It is a very broad statement which describes the career and professional accomplishment of that program. Because PEOs is a very broad statement which discuss about the career and professional achievement of my candidates of the program, because how to prepare for the students, everything it achieves, that we have to remember how the career is achieved and what way we are going to do it. Okay. Assessment in education will bring the student's ability or force them to learn something. Yes, of course. Sometimes you're trying to do assessment is to force something, but it is not assessment, because we made the assessment as a sick parameter. That is the problem. So for example, if you ask any skill related thing, by default, students are very good in playing and checking their skills so that they want to improve upon it. Unfortunately or fortunately, we made a system where true assessment can provide insight into true compression and help identify the gap. Yes, that is a Professor Gronland's statement. Professor Gronland has told, if you want to be a good assessment, you have to get rid of this normal, this thing, you have to go with the self-assessment of the students. How to analyze the students' capability during pandemic situation. During pandemic situation, what happened? During pandemic situation, because most of the exams are held online, there are possibility students copy the contents from Google search and simply pasting it. Yes, sir, because you remember, sir, I will tell you my case study. Because I did PhD from University of Illinois. Illinois, you remember all the big stalwarts, Raleigh Peck, Wendy Chouk, all from University of Illinois. Civil Jambavans are from University. And I did bachelor's and master's from College of Engineering, Guindy. So in College of Engineering, Guindy and US PhD, I have seen professors who never invigilate the students during the examination period. Professor Lemke, he never invigilates. He never invigilates. Professor Sarkunan from Anna University, College of Engineering, Guindy. When I was doing masters, he did from PhD from University of California, Berkeley. So during an examination, he gives a question paper and he would tell the students, you write I pledge, and you just give it. And you ask you to sign I pledge and you have to sign, you have to keep writing it because you are the best judge. Because as I told you, as Lord Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, no one can change anyone. It's very difficult to change anyone, sir, because they have to change by themselves by learning the things. Because you can only induce. I cannot do it because if it's there, all the irrespective of the community, religion, the God might have made Zoom Mandrakala and everyone change. It's not possible because it's individualized. This thing that matters a lot. Yes, of course, the students are copying. Why they are copying and cheating? We made a society or educational system where we made it mark as a celebrated thing. Because suppose if I'm going to the second semester, first semester, if I didn't handle a subject, if I ask my colleagues or sometimes my colleagues voluntarily tell, oh, this is the class you are going, or these are the students who are bright and these are the students who are dull. Why the students are to be branded, grouped? Because you tell frankly, I'm making one question. At the end of the session, at the end of the classroom, if the 40 students are there, after completing the classroom, after finishing the class, what I will do, whether you understood the class or not, I will ask. Whether you understand the subject, whether content is clear, I will be asking. When I question, whether I will question by open question, it will be, but it is a restricted answer. You remember, it will be open question, but restricted answer. This is, I will try to question only to the bright students, seeing the bright students' faces. I will say, oh, whether you understood it, that student also will say, yes, sir, I understood. Then your inner art will be pleasure and he will also be pleasure. If suppose if you see a dull student or a mediocre student or a problematic student or a very cynical student, if you ask him, if he tells, no, I didn't understand, start from the beginning, then you get irritated. You lose your patience. That's because of this. That's because we have trained. Even our mind will have to accept only the good things. You take it now. COVID has given a good lesson. Even if I have a cold or if I have a feverish, or I will go to the doctor. And doctor, I will tell the reason for feverish. I myself will tell. No, yesterday I took a curd rice and ice cream, sir. That is the reason of fever. It is not COVID, doctor. And if I tell, no, doctor, I had a sneezing because when I was coming, lot of vehicle dust were there. That was the reason. You ourselves will convince because by default, we have been tuned to take only the accept the positiveness to us. That is the nature. Okay, it is beyond the discussion. Let me come to the mind. Evaluation. What do you mean by evaluation of a students? Evaluation is basically focusing on the end product, sir. Assessment plus value judgment. Assessment plus value judgment is the evaluation. Assessment plus value judgment is the evaluation. So assessment is ultimately the assessment to check the level of knowledge, check the level of learning, what has taken place. Assessment means there is a scope for improvement. Assessment could be defined in various factors and various ways. In the case of outcome-based education, we focus on two assessment, PSO, program specific outcomes, and program educational objectives. You remember there is a term objectives and outcomes. You need to have a clarity. Only when you have a clarity on the term objective and outcome, your assessment becomes clarity, sir. Objective, for example, I was traveling to Nasik to one of the very famous institute in Pune. Sorry, in Pune. I was traveling to, no, Nasik. I was traveling to Nasik. So I went to Mumbai airport. From Mumbai, I was traveling to Nasik. When I was traveling to Nasik to one of the very famous university, I'm in the board of studies. So I was traveling to that university. So when I traveled from Mumbai to Nasik generally it takes 2 to 3 hours because I go every 6 months to 1 year, minimum 1 year. At 6 months once I was traveling. So 3 hours I will reach it. But one day what happened? It took more than 7 hours for me to reach the Nasik because entire night I landed at 6:30 in Mumbai. I was supposed to take my dinner at Nasik, but it was exorbitantly delayed. And I went by night 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 p.m. and 3 a.m. when I reached. And the next day morning, I had a very hectic schedule. And next day after lecture, we returned it. So if you observe, you should know the meaning between objectives and outcomes, sir. Objectives. Then one of the person who came to accompany me to pick up and from the college, from the university. So he was asking what is the objectives and outcomes. I was discussing with him in the car because I have to travel 3 hours. I need someone to chat at least for an hour, maybe 2 hours. You can sleep or you can read something or you can listen to some music. So I was asking what is the meaning of objectives and outcomes, because previously we were calling output based education. You remember we were calling output based education. Nowadays we are calling outcome based education. Output based education, outcome based education, what is the difference? Then if something output based education is wrong, we all did outcome. That is absurd because at the time output was reaching the outcome. But nowadays output is not matching the outcome. That you have to, you just take it. On the olden days, when some product comes from the market, even if you take a cloth, even if you take any electronic gadgets, that gadget will be there for 10 to 15 years. But nowadays, the gadgets are released in the market state with the intention within 2 to 3 years, that gadget will need to become obsolete. That is the condition. That is the condition which they are making the item. So now I am coming to the main point of objectives and outcomes. Objectives is what we are intended to start. Outcome is what intended the learners have reciprocated. To put it in a short manner, my objective is to teach the students how to make a veg biryani. My objective is to teach them. The students at the end of the session will know how to cook a veg biryani. That is. But what is outcome? They have to make a wonderful vegetarian, tasty, sumptuous, and with a hot, piping hot biryani they should taste, which is really having a good aroma, good nutrition value, everything. That is the outcome what I expect. For example, my objective is to teach how to use stethoscope. But what is outcome? Outcome is that the student need to be in a position to differentiate between normal heartbeat and abnormal heartbeat. Normal heartbeat and abnormal heartbeat. The student need to be in the position to know the difference between the normal and abnormal heartbeat. That is outcome. Objective is to teach the students how to use stethoscope. So now you need to have a clarity. Program educational objectives. This is program specific outcome. Outcome means at the end, I need to measure. Objectives cannot be measured directly. We have to just check over a period of time whether the transformation has taken place or not. That is the fundamental thing which you have to remember, sir. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Friends, is it clear? Objectives, outcomes, everything, I don't know. Hopefully, if it is clear, God bless America. Okay, someone has told what they told. Yes, sir. Indira Priyadashini, thank you. So Indira Priyadashini, because one of our project staff had a haircut. I was telling you are looking like Indira Priyadashini. Indira Priyadashini is one former Indira Gandhi. Her original name is Indira Priyadashini. Okay. So that is the reason. So you have to remember it is a this thing. Okay, sir. Clear, sir. Clear. Somasundar Krishnan, Kavita Govindra, clear. Okay, let me come to the main story of the today's session. So now I was warming up. What is PSO? What is PO? What is PEO? Okay. POs are generic outcomes. PSO, it is differentiate you from others. Okay. Or branding. Kindle is also there. Aquafina is also there. Fanta is also there. Miranda is also there. But I like Fanta. I like Miranda. Why like Fanta? Fanta has more fizz in it. You remember the gas is more in Fanta when compared to Miranda. Because you have to remember, slice whether you like or Mazda you like. I like Mazda. The thickness, the texture of mango flavor is more in the case of Mazda when compared to slice. That is my perspective. Because the perspective varies. To make the perspective uniform, we need an indirect assessment. You remember? I have one assessment. My colleague is having one assessment. How to make it uniform? How to know the measurement? Because the indirect assessment or a qualitative assessment, it all depends upon your prior experience. If your prior experience is strong, your qualitative assessment is good. For example, in the case of a presentation, let us take an example of a PowerPoint presentation or the presentation of the Vivavas, student Vivavas. There are two examiners are coming. There are 40, 50 students that are Anna University, it happens, and IIT Madras also I observed. When we go to MTech for IIT Madras or for BTech in Anna University or MTech in Anna University, I observed there are 60 students are there. For every 10, 20 students or 10 students, depending upon the area, they put the experts. They put the experts. When they put the experts, sometimes mark variation is there. The reason is my expectation might be more because of my prior experience. Sometimes I may not expect more because of my less prior experience. So to make it uniform, we develop rubrics, rubrics, rubrics. The purpose of rubric is to quantify the qualitative assessment. For example, suppose if I'm giving a banana chips to everyone, banana bhaji to everyone, plantain bhaji, so not banana bhaji, plantain bhaji, or onion bhaji to everyone. Some might tell the bhaji is amazing, fabulous, fantastic. Some might say the bhaji is okay, sir. Some might tell the bhaji is poor. But the same bhaji, it got a 3 different answers. One is telling excellent, one is telling good, one is telling okay, it needs improvement. So what is the reason behind it? Because I never seen a bhaji better than this. That is the reason I given excellent. The person who has seen excellent bhaji already, this bhaji doesn't meet the requirement of the excellent bhaji because our prior knowledge influences the present knowledge. That you have to remember. Because if I close my eyes and if I see, but it all depends upon my prior knowledge and experience. Prior knowledge and experience. That you have to remember, that you have to make it a mandate. So the ultimate what I wish to emphasize here is the qualitative assessment. For example, Bhaji, I told I did excellent. Some people told okay. Then now I make a rubrics. The rubrics, size, color of the Bhaji. It is a golden brown, crispy Bhaji. Excellent. Golden brown, soft Bhaji. Okay. It is a brown. It's a white. Okay. Then it is poor. Okay. Then I can tell the Bhaji is served in a hot manner with a less oil in it, with wonderful chutneys. Excellent. Bhaji is served hot, but not with oil, little oil, but chutneys. Good. Bhaji served hot, but not but little bit oily, but with chutneys. Satisfactory. Bhaji is cooked brown, golden brown, but it is not this one, and it needs the checking. Then it is going to be needs improvement. So it all depends upon the rubrics. It will facilitate you in assessment, especially in the case of assessment, objective assessment. Rubrics plays an important role. Indirect assessment plays an important role. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Hopefully it is clear. Okay. Hopefully it is clear. Okay, let me go to the presentation and the Padlet one. Okay. Okay. Kavita Govindarajan. Yes, okay. Which yes, I don't know, but hopefully this yes is good. Yes. Okay. This is the way. Okay. How to analyze. Clear, sir. Okay, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you. Where's the So let me clearly mention, in this lecture, the content expressed are purely my technical perspective. It does not represent the organization to which I am affiliated. It does not represent the organization to which I am affiliated. It all depends upon this thing. It all depends upon how the things are there and how it works. Okay, it all depends upon this thing. It all depends upon this one. Okay, I'll just make it a point so that you will get a clarity and you won't do this thing. The great teachers are made, they are not just born. Only thing, you should be ready for the journey. That is the reason. That is the reason you have to make it. But when you are maintaining, are you ready for the journey? So learning outcome, how to make it, how to apply, and how to do it. Describe. So I thought Stripe, how to bezel it, and because Stripe is his dog name, and the two friends, maybe the two friends are meeting, myself and Dr. Dinesh. And I'm telling to Dinesh, my dog knows how to whistle it. And Dinesh is asking, I don't hear him whistling. Then he's telling, I said I taught him. I didn't say he learned it. So there is a difference between teaching and learning. The part which is going to distinguish between teaching and learning is the assessment. That you have to remember. So as I told you in the beginning of the class, in the case of outcome-based education, there is no question of are you qualified. The question is all are qualified. There is no question of are you qualified. The question is all are qualified. This changes. So there is no question of are you qualified. It is all are qualified. So this my colleagues and other people in the past 1 week, they might have told you vision, mission, PEOs, POs, and PSOs and learning outcome. But one of our participant asked me the question, CO, how to measure the CO with PSO? That he has asked. You remember COs in learning outcome, learn course outcome, but if you see your side, they call intended learning outcome. If you read a book, ILO, intended learning outcome. Connecting dots, one of the good book for assessment, I use it. Connecting dots or Gronland book. Gronland is also from University of Illinois. So University of Illinois is a very famous for assessment. So Gronland told this is so. First, what we have to do, we should know the intended learning outcome. That is a need of the person. Suppose if you see general, now we will tell PEOs. We will talk about PEOs. How to make the PEOs. Because this PEOs, that was a focus. First, madam told PEO. So before knowing PEO, how to make the PEO, you should know how to make the PEO. How to make the PEO? Step one, we have to make the vision and mission. Vision and mission of the institutes we should know. What is the vision? What is the mission? So already some of your colleagues might have told you how to fix the vision. Vision na romba moonu vaartha kandipa. When we go for any visit or when I go for audit, I just check how the vision statement. Vision statement na moonu component we will see. Business, purpose, value. அதோட business என்ன, purpose என்ன, value. Value illam, without value, the system cannot exist. There need to be a business, there need to be a purpose, there need to be some value. Business, purpose, and value. Business, purpose, and value. That is a need of the business, purpose, value, which we will write a vision document. When we go to any institute for accreditation visit or anything, we check the vision document only based on these three criteria: business, purpose, and value. Vision and mission. So based on the vision, eppadi implement pandradha mission. So what we'll do, the first step, we will interact with the clientele system based on the vision and mission. I will establish the PEO. I will just discuss with my HODs and senior department program coordinators, everything. So the draft mission is we will PEOs, we will be circulating to our stakeholders. Stakeholders என்றது ரெண்டு விதமான வார்த்தைகள் சார். Because some people, if you see the national education policy, they never use the word stakeholders because there is a different connotation for stakeholders meaning it. Because the terminology stakeholder, it has its own meaning, it has its own connotation. That is a problem. So the program assessment committee will review, will analyze, and in turn they will submit to the department advisory board. Okay? Then later on the department advisory board deliberates the recommendations for the freezes of the PEOs and in submit for the BOG, because POs are already fixed. POs are already fixed, nothing doing. So we cannot do anything. So the process of defining the POs, as I told you, mission, department mission, graduate attributes, and the drafting of POs and collect the views, review and analyze, adapt and accept and freeze the POs. So that is it. So program outcomes already, you guys knows how to write the program outcomes because the program outcomes are fixed. Program outcomes are fixed. Nothing doing. We cannot do any changes in the program outcome because already the NBA visits tells fix the program outcome. Only they are giving a freedom to PSO program specific outcome changes. So you make it and you make it a point and you work on it. Okay. So that is the need of them. Okay. That is the need of them. So at present, PSO, we will see. Chat. Okay, no one is given chat. Okay, I was giving some clicking on. So PSO. So now we have to remember long term and short term. Another someone was asking 3 years or 5 years. I told it is 5 years. It is there and it is upon subject completion, upon graduation, and few years after graduation, 3 years to 5 years. So now let me focus on this part. So let me focus on this part of PO. In addition to that, PSO program specific outcomes. So this you might have told all this week. You might have heard about outcome-based education, outcome-based teaching learning, outcome-based curriculum, outcome-based assessment. So ultimately, the assessment is going to redefine the entire process. Ultimately, the assessment plays an important role. So that way, you have to remember. So what students should achieve, how to make the students achieve the outcome, how to measure what the students have achieved. Suppose if I show this picture, and I request the participants to put it in the chat box. What comes to your mind as soon as you see this picture? The padatha paatha udane, as soon as you see this picture, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Kaliyappan is telling something. You put it in the chat box, sir. I will just measure it. Okay, someone has given what you have given. சொல்லுங்க நிதி. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, the people immediately they told child is sitting. Okay, bag is there. Child waiting for someone, sitting and doing something, thinking. Whether you have seen this picture before? No, not at all. You are seeing the picture for the first time. But when you see the picture for the first time, Vinod Kumar sir, Kamachi madam, Kaliappan sir, Jimmy Gold, Mohammed Sari, immediately they are telling something. Why they are telling? They are telling based on the previous experience. This is the PSO. So, PSO, when we measure, someone was asking CO based on CO, how to measure. The reason is the CO, if they do it perfectly, by default, the PSO should get attacked. That is the reason. I will show you some PSO, then we will work on it. So, it's all connecting the dots and making a wonderful picture that you have to remember. Okay. Okay, I'll make it quickly because time is running short. I have to finish it. So homeless, begging, mother, poverty, freezing, various things you have told. The reason why you have told is you have come across such pictures already. You are connecting it. So here in the NBA attainment also, what the students are doing in the 4 years, you have to connect appropriately to check whether they are getting the PSO attained or not. What they are doing after 3 years, 4 years of graduation, you have to connect appropriately to check the PEO is measured or not. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Okay. So that is it. Okay. They don't want to focus on theories. I'll just give the examples. I've given some examples here. Outcome assessment plan. What is the example? Because OBA on separate course itself I'm offering. But okay. Assessment methods. Assessment methods. If you see, these are the assessment methods generally we prefer. Object. Easy offer. Objective types, case studies, essay questions, projects, end of the chapter, reflective journals and this thing, seminar presentation. Practicum, portfolio, examination, peer assessment or self-assessment. All those things are there. Okay. So different types of assessment methods are there. As I told you, it all depends upon the budget, timeline, analysis capabilities, how I fit this method into annual responsibilities, who needs to make the decision with this data, what kind of evidence can help me to make the decision, how I document that evidence. So there are two types of assessment generally we talk. One is criterion reference assessment. Second one is a norm reference assessment. Criterion reference assessment, how we will make it. Criterion reference assessment is we fix the criteria, based on the criteria we make it. Okay. So that is it. And let us take some examples. I have some examples. In the example, it takes some subjects of COs because doesn't mean that all the things should map with everyone. And it doesn't mean that because we have some subjects, I have taken some subjects, I used to give the student's name and I give the assessment. Okay. What Groundland has told already. Okay, this is the way the assessment is planned for PSO. Define the results to be measured because we are defining the results to be measured. Because what results I'm defining? The students should be in the position to perform very well at the end of the graduation. So first we have to see the PSO and PO of any educational institutions. So then only you will get a clarity. So if someone is having any PSO, that only I'm just checking it in my because how the PSO is this thing that is how the PSOs are put it in the so first one is this thing. Identify the results. Identify the results, what we do it and how we have to do it, and what are the weightages which you are giving accordingly. We have to. So how the PSOs, the PO and PSOs attainment is calculated for the complete batch of students, not for the one people or two people, complete batch of the students through all the courses of the curricular, including curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, everything. And the scale of 1 to 3, we put it 1 to 3. We gave it 1, 2, 3. How the 1, 2, 3 is also measured. Also, I have given in one of my videos in the YouTube. You can just check it. The program assessment committee analyzes each outcomes into elements because different attributes we define. And in addition to that, the survey whether it has achieved or not. So identify the resources, required data, and resources what it is identified. Then after identifying assessment criteria, we just measure it. The class coordinates qualitative and quantitative data and how to do it. The department advisory committee then measures the tool, how we have to do it. For example, generally we keep for PO and PSO a direct assessment and indirect assessment. Direct assessment 80% we keep. Direct assessment 80%. Indirect assessment 20%. It all depends upon the department advisory committee. If you want to keep 60-40, keep it. But generically, throughout the places, they are keeping 80-20, and NB also safer. The path of least resistance is always safer. So resistance achieving the assessment test and define additional methods which is required. So if you see, so when we want to defer the assessment, we just generally go by the internal assessment of the course related to the respect to the POs, and we also go to the university assessment. Based on that only the direct assessment of 80%. The indirect assessment project that societal transformation projects. So the survey, graduated survey, alumni survey. So how the alumni are performing, alumni employer survey, because suppose if my students or my aim is to make a PSO is to make students good in the environmental with the background of sustainable environmental modeling, mathematical. So are they going into the field? Because if they compute in a different field, my PSO is not achieved. IT field, they are all going. Then my PSO is not achieved appropriately. So I need to do. So in terms of co-curricular activities, in terms of industrial visits, or in terms of other items. So implement and evaluate. So this is the cycle which we do for assessment. So first define the results, what need to be measured, identify the data required and the sources, review the existing assessment methods, then define additional methods and measures. What is the data? Because sometimes we might observe it, but we don't know how to, there are some contribution might be there, how to ensure it has been done. That is the additional methods and measures, and implement and evaluate, because you have to implement and you have to evaluate accordingly. Implement and evaluate accordingly. So that is that. Okay. Let me go to the next step. Okay. So first we will see how the learning outcome or COs are getting mapped with the POs and PSOs. So for example, let me take a subject. I was taking a subject on 4 vibrations of carbon dioxide and show how IR light is absorbed by CO2. So because you remember, objectives are very specific. If I expect the students 4, it is for because when we do for academic audit, because Anna University and several places I go for academic audit and Kerala. So when we go to academic audit, we see it is a question paper. The students are performing good, bad because of the question paper, because of the any other thing. For example, if I ask a question, draw the vibrations of carbon dioxide and show how IR light is absorbed. So it is I asked in a 4-mark question. So what I expect is each one 4 vibrations. If they draw, it's good. But some people would have drawn 8, some people would have drawn 2, some people would have drawn 4. The person who has drawn 4 also knows 8. But the reason is because of the paucity of time, he doesn't want to skip other questions. He is doing only 4, thinking that each question carries 1 mark each vibration. But when we correct a paper, I compare always with the people who didn't perform well. 8 pannava, okay, good. I'll give 4 mark, full mark. And if the person who did 4, I give relatively less mark, thinking that he has written only 4, not the others. But always you have to remember, objectives and outcomes has to be very specific. If you expect 4, tell them 4. If you expect 2, tell them 2. Because It avoids ambiguity among the learners when they appearing for the exams. So this is one of the things which we look into it during the academic auditing perspective. Academic auditing, we look into all those perspectives. So we need to have a clarity. We need to have a clarity. We need to have a clarity of how it is. For example, let me take an example. Let me take an example. Let me take an example of how it could be done. So draw the 4 vibrations of carbon dioxide. 4 vibrations of the carbon dioxide. How it could be done and what are the ways it could be made. So what are the ways it could be made upon? Okay, then the question is, what are the 2 types of motion? What are the 2 types of motion? I am asking in the examination. 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 What are the 2 types? And draw one of the motions I am asking. If the students, this is the thing, bond switching, bond bending, I am expecting. If I can give full credit, if the students write both and draw any one, and deduction for 25% of one missing and 50 for both and 25 for wrong or missing arrows and 50 for this is known as a scheme of evaluation. Everyone knows. So based on the scheme of evaluation, I'm making it. Based on that, I can give 80% of the per did a full credit, 5% of the confused arrow, and 13% I draw drawing. So what happened? This is the fundamental of outcome-based assessment or PO assessment or CO assessment, sir. So from this learning outcome assessment or course outcome assessment, I identified the students are performing. The students are performing and drawing exercises. So they need to have a drawing exercises. They need to have a drawing exercises. They have to have exercises so that they will perform very well. So let me come to the methodology. Methodology I've already covered. And now I tell you. In a simple method, what we do for COs and POs, if the 40% is covered, then the program outcome is 3. 25 to 40% of the hour is devoted for the particular program outcome, then is level 2. If 5 to 25% of level is obtained, PO is level 1. If less than 5% is addressed, then the PO is relatively not addressed, because generally the strength of the mapping, low, moderate, and substantial, 1, 2, 3, because 1, 2, 3 also varies from faculty to faculty. The same faculty, what we did, one of the autonomous college we made, the 2 sections were there, and ironically, when we were looking into it, we observed nothing wrong in it. It is so one faculty told this is only 2 weightage, and one faculty told 3 weightage. The 2 and 3, it is relatively because of the faculty, because it's a empirical they are thinking, but it's not empirical, it's a rational. We need to have a mindset how it works out. So then we told to them, if the PO address the 40% of the hour what you allot to the class, then you give it 3, 40 or 50, it depends upon the institute. 25 to 40, you give level 1 and to 2 and level 1. That is the condition which we want to measure it. So this is the course outcome, this is the program outcomes, and this is that. So similarly, when we make it, you just check how much PSOs are also measured, how much PSO are also equated, because all the PSOs may not be, because you have 2 to 3 PSOs we have. So you just check which level, how many sessions we are operating it, how many lab sessions, and how many this thing. So for example, PO matrix, for example, PO1. So here it is there, here it is there. So 8 classes and lab session is 4. So lab 8 to 12, 12 out of 68, it is only 18%. So 18%, 5 to 25%, we put PO level 1. So this PO, it is only 1, level 1. Okay. Like that, we can make it. So if the PO is 2, PO2 pathina, PO2 here it is there. Now you take PO3, 1, 2, 3. So 8, 10, 30, 16, 26, 26 plus 26 here on 18, 26 plus 18 this much. Okay, 26 plus 18, 54. 54 divided by 68. It is a good amount of percentage. It's PO3, it says targeted level 3. 3, it is intensity of level 3. PO4, PO5, similarly. So that is the way we will map the, we will fix, not map, we will fix the levels of the POs. Is it clear? Maybe I don't know how the others have thought, because I've seen several speakers have given a good contribution. So I'm just making it, it varies from the person to person, the system to system, but each path is correct in my perspective. Okay, so like that we will be preparing a map. Based on the map, we will be preparing this thing. Okay. Okay, you just have a look into the table.
Sir, we are unable to hear you, sir.
Okay, Kupranidhi. Okay. Correct, sorry, because from director office we got it, and they were asking some issues related to DPR. That is the reason. Profound apology. Okay, then based on that, PO1, PO2, PO3, PO4, we are making it, and similarly PSO also we are making it based on the table. Based on the table, how the correlation is that 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 is a fundamental rule I have told you. 25%, 40%, 25 to 40%. It depends upon your institution. It depends upon your DAB, Department Advisory Board. They can decide and they can finalize it, and accordingly they can do. You can have a PSO of 1, PSO of 2, and PSO of 3, and PSO of 4. So like this, the matrix is prepared. The matrix is done for each subjects. What you're doing perfectly, you will be doing it the matrix. Once you have done the matrix, you should know, as I told you, the direct assessment predominantly takes 80%, and indirect assessment takes only 20%. So if a direct assessment, if you observe, so in the direct assessment, as I told you, internal assessment plus university exams, that is a direct assessment. And indirect assessment always depends upon the survey form, the alumni survey, feedback form, the course survey, everything. So everything that way, that it depends. So mid-semester mark and CO1, CO2, the mid-semester marks and the assignments, the end semester marks. The 20, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 70. So this is the part of direct assessment. The indirect part is the course exit survey. So we are giving a weightage of 2, 2, 2, 2. Finally, we are getting the mark, and the consolidated mark also we made it. So it is a combination of direct and indirect. That is the second observation which we made. Because if you observe, then in the SAR, they are given a guideline. They are given a guideline. Level 1, 60% of the students scoring more than the board examination. Then you give them attainment level 1. 70% are scoring more than the board average percentage marks. Board or your end semester mark. It all depends upon your criteria. Level 1. Level 3, 80% of the scoring more than board percentage mark, and we will call it as a level attainment level 3. Assessment where attainment where. Assessment is different, attainment is different. Assessment we are doing to check whether they are attained or not. Okay, that is it. Okay. So we are making assessment to check whether they are attained or not. That is the reason which you have to remember. So attainment level 1, 60% of the students score more than 55% mark of the maximum relevant mark. 70%, 80%, that's what I told you. I am keeping, because I am keeping this is the 55 marks is the maximum relevant mark. Well, 60% of the people have taken more than 55% mark. Okay, they are attainment level 1. Okay, 80% of my students are more than 55 marks. Then let me claim I am attainment level 3. These are all the conditions which we are fixing it. So now I am giving the name of the students. I am giving the name of the person enrollment. Subject I am taking for a subject. I am taking for one particular subject. The COs I am putting it, and I'm making a percentage. I'm making an average. You can see 10, 10, 10. So I'm giving a weightage for the marks, and finally I'm telling level 100% of students achieve marks greater than 50%, 55%. So my attainment level is 3. 80% mela ponale, I told attainment level 3. Now you're at 100%. So if you see here, I don't know, someone is asking some questions. Who is asking? Okay, feedback form. Okay, good. If you see attainment level 2 in this subject, so 82% of the students have achieved more than the 55%. Then attainment level is 3. 82% okay. Assignment mark. And the third course exit survey. Course exit survey. Attainment level.
Online.
So course exit survey, if you see the attainment level, 92% of the students achieved marks greater than 55%. That's the attainment level is 3.
சரி நீங்க ரெடி பண்ணுங்க நாங்க கொடுக்க சொல்றோம். சரி ஓகே சார் சொல்லுங்க.
ஒரிஜினல் அந்த பிஓ வந்து கொடுத்தது ஆபீஸ்ல இருக்கு. யார் பேசுற?
வித்யா சார்.
டைரக்டர் பேசுறோம். வெக்ஸ் சொல்லுங்க. யூஸ்லெஸ் லேடி.
மேடம் சொன்னாங்க சார் மேடம். ஒரிஜினல் வந்ததா.
And make it a point. I'm making it a point. Here there is a decorum. Okay, I make it a point where we did separately, sir. For each one items, we are doing separately. For a course outcome level 1, level 2, I don't know what has happened. Okay, for mid-semester assignment, course exit survey, each one I am just checking what is the level. And finally, end semester marks also I am checking what is the level. So then finally, I am fixing the level because this is a question paper which you are fixing the level. And okay, where is it? Okay. Where is it? Okay. So now I am making a direct enclose, but 30% to the internal mark, 70% to the internal mark. So finally, each percentage of direct attainment and course attainment and CO attainment and final percentage and the gap I have to identify. Based on identify the gap, this I am fixing it for PSO. CO learn the PSO, how to go for the CO to PSO. If the COs are measured appropriately, which is level 3, it's there, then it is attained. That is for the PSO attainment. That is for the PSO attainment. I make it very clear. It is only for the PSO attainment, sir. It is not for the PEO attainment. Because for PEO attainment, I have the separate chart. I will just show you. So how to read? Because as I told you, the PEOs and the POs different. Because from the PSO, from the COs, we are just checking whether the PSOs are attained or not based on the internal marks. So finally calculating the attainment weight is there, and based on the test 1, test 2, model, internal, and some of the internals and university exams. And then finally, I am just measuring whether I have attained the POs or not. Then matrix of it, I'm making it based on the course outcome. That is the course outcomes, I'm making it so that they will get a clarity of it. Okay, I will just show you one more presentation where I'm having it for PO. Okay, PSO. So the PSO measurement I have just attained, and finally PO attainment. PO1 ever, PO2 how much, PO3 how much, everything we have measured. Okay, I will show you where is the PO1, PO2. Okay, so the finally the CO attainment table I am making it, and okay, that part is not there. Okay, once again. Keep discarded. Where is the table? PO, PSO matrix. Okay. So finally, once again, 2 minutes. I'm just stopping the sharing of the screen. I'll just check, add the PowerPoint of the second one. Meanwhile, the people can put it in the chat. This one, I'm giving a Padlet wall, 5 minutes, because I request the participants in the chat. This thing, I'm putting it in the chat box. I am giving a link, Padlet wall. In this Padlet wall, okay, I am making it in the Padlet wall. The Padlet wall, I am making it. You just click the Padlet wall and click it. I've just shared the Padlet wall. I'll share the Padlet wall at present. For example, you can click it. So at present, PSO, you can click PSO, what mode you are assessing. PEO, what mode you are assessing. I request the participants to just double click on the link what I have given, and you can write it. No need to write your name. Your name will not appear. It is anonymous manner. I'm just collecting it. I just want to know. So you can just feel free to type it, and nothing. It is no way the names are collected, and you can feel free to chat, because in the chat box, if you type it, your name will be known. I don't want to know the name. I just want to know the things. Okay. Meanwhile, okay. I'll just take the PSO presentation. PO presentation. What happened? No one has typed. Okay, kindly type it. I don't know why it is already opened public only. I made it public. I didn't give any settings. No moderation. No moderation. It doesn't request moderation. No approval is required. Everything I have cleared it. Just double click on it and you post it, sir. Please. I don't know. Through course outcome attainment. Yes, through course outcome attainment, we do it, sir. Course outcome attainment. Yes, you are right. You are right. Ultimately, you are right. Correct. Course outcome attainment. Correct, sir. 100% correct. Because in the chat box, your name will come. I don't want to know the name. Okay, fantastic. Because only one person has written, no problem. Because you have to remember the PEO attainment, PEO attainment. How to do the PEO attainment? PEO attainment, what we do generally, we map the PEO and PSO, as I told you, with suitable PEOs. Because I know the PEOs are defined based on the conditions. PEOs, you remember, the PEOs, what we do, PEOs, we based on the conditions. PEOs are not given as such arbitrarily. PEOs we make based on the conditions. PEOs, once again, PEOs. Where is the PEOs? Okay, PEO for display. Okay, PEOs. So what we do, we group the PEOs into different conditions based on which we do it. Okay. So the number of POs and PSOs, if you remember, and accordingly we have to make it. I'm just checking for, because recently I gave some lectures to Kerala. So because last 2 weeks we are hectically held up with some ministry work. That is the reason. Anonymous, someone has posted. Who has posted? PSO, ensure to understand. What ensure to understand? What they wish to tell. Generally with suitable POs. POs we groups the POs are grouped based on the 5. Generally what we do, preparation, we call breadth, we call T method, core competence, professionalism, learning environment. So this is the way the PEOs are categories of the PEOs. What we do, then accordingly we will put the PEOs, because PEOs we call it as the T, because even in ABAT we have a T, breadth and depth, because in particular subjects the breadth as well as the depth we have to. Preparation we mean whether they are going for a higher educations or the employment, that is a core competencies, we call it as a discipline size knowledge, and the breadth we call it as T-shaped engineer, because for example few of our students are doing very extremely good in virtual reality and augmented reality, because from the first semester they did electives related to it, and augmented reality in civil engineering they were doing the projects, and finally MOOC came, that was there. And lifelong learning environment, how the environment is there. So in the professionalism value also we have worked. Understand and analyze. No, understand. If you see understand basically you cannot measure it, sir. How I measure he understood or not? Because attainment, assessment need to know the action verb which really gives output. Understand and understand pannandradha eppadi na measure the verbs which I use it in that condition, it has to be directly measurable. So first what we do in measuring the PEOs, very categorically we will mention. So we mentioned whether the suitable map PO and PSO with suitable PSO we measure, because POs, you remember in the POs are 10 in number. POs are 10 in number. 5 related to the core content or what we call it as competency. In that overlapping will be there for breadth. For breadth also will be overlapping. Breadth also, but remaining seven is there. Remaining for 5 plus 12. Okay, 12, 10 to 12 graduate attributes. Okay. Remaining 7, if you see the communication, the project management, all those totals, all other remaining attributes, otherwise graduate attributes, are related to professionalism and environment. Because, for example, what I observe, because there are some institutions where the environment nurtures the things, because it is a learning environment, because it is that matters a lot in defining and redefining the process, defining and redefining the process. That is because that is the reason. So first, what we have to do, we have to map the POs and PSOs with particular PEOs. So PEOs may be the number of 1 to 5 or 1 to 4. It depends upon the institutions, how you are making it. It depends. So then what we do, directly map it. Then direct attainment of PEOs. Direct attainment of PEOs, how we will do? We will take sum of all the attainment level of the PO and PSO, mapped to the PO, and total number of POs and PSOs. That is it. So the previous examples we have seen, sum of the attainment, what we did, sum of the attainment. Oh, please share the Padlet link. Okay. I have already shared Padlet link. Okay. Kamatsi madam. Okay. Oh, Padlet link. So what I do, what we will be doing, we will be measuring the sum of, because sum of the complete attainment, sum of the attainment of the POs and PSO, which are mapped to the particular, because I told you there are 5 POs are there. All the POs doesn't mean to have mapping with all the POs. There are some POs which are related to PSO. So how the course outcomes are mapped to the particular POs and PSOs. So as I told you, the weightage of 40%, 25 to 40%, and less than 25%. Similarly, the weightage may be given and weightage may be appropriately handled. So it gives a more clarity to the content. So we take the sum of attainments of POs and PSOs, which are mapped to the particular PEOs, and the total number of POs, total number of POs and PSOs. Total number of POs and PSOs. Madam, அந்த கதிர் பையனை கூப்பிட்டு அருண் கிட்ட அந்த இன்வாய்ஸ் மட்டும் வாங்கிட்டு சொல்றீங்களா? POs and PSOs, a total number of POs and PSOs we have to do. Then indirect assignment, as I told you, it could be 20, 80 or anything, whatever this thing. So you get PEO, as I told you, societal transformation, employee, because I need to do all the surveys, because I need to get a parent survey. Parents, because you remember the parents are sending to the students, not to evaluate. Previously it is different, now it is entirely different. So their accountability is more. Parents, the students, their feedback, employer feedback, alumni feedback, and based on the questionnaire survey, the alumni feedback and everything, based on the alumni feedback and the questionnaire survey, Finally, the PEOs, the final PEO attainment, we have to remember 80% direct, I can make it, plus 20% indirect, I can make it. So I can just check whether the PEOs attend or not, particular PEOs. So we have to measure based on the conditions, how it works and what are the conditions it may be made to work, and you have to make it. So if you have some examples, workout examples, I can easily show it and I can do. So then finally this attainment of POs are very, very good, because the mission document is mapped. And not only the mission document, and ultimately finally the vision and mission is mapped. Mission and mission attainment. So that is the way the system goes. So that's the way the system goes. Vandi vechirukka. Okay. Or vandi illalla avurkitta irike. So that's the way the system works. So that's the way the system works. And Padlet updated elsewhere. Okay, Padlet updated elsewhere. Okay, Padlet updated elsewhere. Okay. யாருமே எதுவும் போடலையே. Okay, indirect assessment. ஆமா sir, indirect assessment. So why we call it as an indirect assessment? That's a good question. எல்லாமே assessment தான, அது என்ன indirect assessment? Indirect assessment. Okay. Ultimately, we want to assess the thing. I will put an analogy of cooking once again. உண்மையில நீங்க chef but I don't know how many of them know chef but இப்ப வீட்லயே when you cook sometimes if the good aroma comes, wonderful smell comes, then the salt, everything is proper. I make it very open. If you cook without salt, the aroma will never come. So having the aroma of a good smell, it indirectly gives assessment of wonderful food is getting ready. Indirectly assessment. Finally, we are assessing the quality of food. So, but either explicit, it is not going to give it, but we are going to infer because those are the parameters also which we have to take it. So, okay, if the teachers are not good, if the teachers as a teaching faculty, some students exam, they will do very extremely well. But the other items, for example, the motivation, learning attitude, everything when you want to measure, it all depends upon the condition. It all depends upon the this thing where they are keeping it, how they are doing. In such situation, if you observe, so the survey, parents get, okay, whether my college has given a good education. Some people they tell, okay, it is the environment which made me to have a good leadership quality, good communication skill, good shouldering the responsibility, good everything. Because it's not a complete human being. That is education. It is not only the grades. It's not only the mark. It's not only the award or medals. It is complete human being as a society. For example, yesterday there was a debate show about 21. There are several debate shows are coming everywhere. For example, there was a Harvard guy who was a mastermind behind ISA, one of the very famous attack. If you see Fritz Haber, very fantastic person. He is a Nobel laureate. Amazingly celebrated Nobel laureate. But he is the person who is instrumental for using a chlorine gas to kill several people in Nazi war. Hitler used chlorine gas to kill several people because of Fritz Haber's this thing. Because that you have to see, it is அப்ப அந்த இன்வாய்ஸ் மட்டும் கொடுத்த இன்வாய்ஸ் வாங்கிட்டு வந்துருங்க. புது இன்வாய்ஸ் தான் கொண்டு வந்து கொடுத்துறேன் சார் சொல்லுங்க. தேங்க்ஸ். So that is the reason. So the indirect assessment, why it is called indirect? It is not directly done for one item. It is done for other item. So aroma varadu, based on aroma, we can tell, okay, the salt is perfect in this food. The food is going to be perfect. Okay, that is the reason. That is the indirect reason. Okay, someone is typing something. I don't know what question they are asking. Sorry, sir, I was disconnected. Attendance, please, sir. Okay. Okay, that is the reason. Okay. So this is what I want to cover related to PO and PSO. And don't worry, but there are several things we have made it attainment measurement. So sometimes when we get excited, because sometimes direct assessment, indirect assessment might be like that. You might have told about robo movie like this. The file the students might have got like this better masla. You remember? So it is assessment or attainment. Sometimes you might think you are measuring this one, but ultimately it would have done this one. That is the reason. And
welcome back to Smarter Every Day.
So that is the reason. That is the reason, because if you see, I don't know whether how many of them are getting sound of this video. Maybe the reason is he was trying to learn the bicycle. He was telling the bicycle he learned at a very young age. young age of very short age itself. At the age of 2 or 3 itself, he learned the bicycle and he knows how to ride a bicycle. One day his friend Bobby called him. He told he made a special change in the bicycle. If you move the wheel to the handlebar to the left, wheel goes to the right. If you move the handlebar to the left, wheel goes to the right. If you move handlebar to the right, wheel goes to the left. So he made only small changes and he told, okay, no problem. I drove bicycle from a very young age. Only you made a small change. No, let me practice it, he told. So he okay, he told you practice, you try to ride the bicycle. He was trying to ride the bicycle, but he was not in the position to ride because he knows the procedure. If you turn the wheel to the left, handlebar to the left, wheel goes to the right. If the wheel goes to the right, handlebar left. He knows the procedure, but he was not in the position to successfully drive. Because here you have to remember, he possessed the enough knowledge, but he didn't possess the understanding. Because knowledge is not equal to understanding. Some people, when we make a clue, we keep knowledge is equal to understanding. Knowledge is not equal to understanding, you have to remember. So understanding comes only by practice. So it is not the question of right or wrong. It is a question of our future, how you make the measurement of PEOs and PSOs. And if you have any doubts, any comments or any unanswered issues, you ask me. Else, thank you very much. And I appreciate that your patience, full listening and everything. And over to the participants for the this thing. You can note down my number, dr.gjanardhan@gmail.com or anything, any idea you can do it and you can